Hey YouTube, how's it going? Adam here. Today I wanted to talk about the idea of focusing on what you can control. There's a lot to worry about, stress about, think about in life in this year, especially following 2020, which was just the worst for everybody. Like, there, indisputably, a lot of bad stuff. And it's really easy to let yourself spiral. It's easy to let yourself focus on so many things that either don't really have any relevance to you, don't really have any impact on your life immediately that you should be stressing about, or if they do, you can't do anything about it. And that's not a productive way to approach things, and I hate seeing people get so stressed about it. This is particularly relevant for fellow YouTubers who get super stressed about the algorithm, what they can get promoted, these weird tactics that other channels are using that seem scummy, that they are not sure if they should do or not. There's always this, especially in the social media constantly connected world, there's this idea that we should always be worrying about everyone and everything and knowing what they're doing, figuring out if we should be doing what they're doing, and letting that influence our life. The whole strange idea behind influencer culture when it comes to, putting your best self out there on the Instagrams or the Facebooks or the TikToks and everyone seeing everyone's best life, that has a really toxic, negative kind of feedback loop on our own life, where we start looking at our own life and wondering, are we not doing it right? Is this person that was garbage in high school being married and having kids and a lot of money mean that I did something wrong? It doesn't. Everyone has their own path. Everyone has their own results from the actions they take, and they're also struggling with their own demons and their own problems on the back end that they're not going to see, because while some people air their dirty laundry and some people air their best things, not everyone airs everything. So you never get the full picture just from passively consuming content from someone. And that sounds very specific, but also that applies to almost everything, really. Like, this is an ongoing struggle that pretty much all of us face. And the thing is, in order to really figure out what we need to be doing as individuals, you have to kind of take a step back and realize that none of that is what you're supposed to focus on. You're not supposed to focus on what someone else is doing, what they're saying, how they're living, whether they're successful or not, the problems that everyone else has faced. If you're going to fix your problems, if you're going to channel and focus your best energies to be your best self, you have to focus on immediately what you're doing and what you can control. If you're struggling with a relationship and you're not, you're feeling insecure or there's a lot of drama, figure out what you can control and do about it. Don't even consider what they're doing or what they might do. What can you do? What are the steps you can take, or the goal that you want that is within your control? And if you're not sure the steps you can take, set a higher tier goal, such as, I want to have a lot less relationship drama. Then go step by step what gets involved in that process. What causes the drama? How can you mitigate that in the future? How can you avoid those scenarios? How can you prevent yourself from being involved in there? If we're talking about YouTube, sure, the algorithm may be doing this, that, and the other, but you can't control the algorithm. You can do your best to play the game, but what you can do is focus on improving your content and your delivery. If you feel like your content is the best it can be, but you're just not getting viewers and you wish YouTube would just give you some push, that's not really going to happen. But what you can do is you can research and learn more about marketing or advertising. You can figure out if you have any dollars you can invest in just promoting your video to some people. You can learn actual marketing techniques. Maybe your thumbnails are really not great. Your title and thumbnail combo, there's always more to learn. Even the YouTube quote-unquote experts, the people who are super successful, are constantly changing it up and learning more. You can go break down your top 3 favorite channels and how they're handling things and see if there's anything you can learn from them. If you feel like your distribution's kind of good, but you're not so sure about your content, go watch 3 of your favorite YouTube channels, watch like 3 videos from them, keep a notebook out and write down things that stand out to you that they do that you really enjoy about their videos, or that draw you to them, or that keep you sticking around in them. If you realize that you're 20 minutes into a video and you're still watching, break down why, analyze why, rewatch it, figure out the points that kept you watching, identify points where you may have tuned out and you got pulled in, or if you did tune out and you did stop watching or click off of it, figure out why, so you can not do those things. if it's day-to-day stuff. There's always little things that you can break down, even if you don't immediately have the answer, because no one has the answers immediately. It's not, oh yeah, I'm gonna fix all my problems by doing this one thing I should have done from the first time. Because if you already knew the answer, you'd be doing it. The idea is that you identify the problem or the goal. It could be either or, and then you break down the steps necessary to either solve that problem or achieve that goal. For the fledgling content creators out there, if you want to be the next streamer, the next YouTuber, whatever, the next big name, start by finding your idols, the people you look up to, the people who have been successful in it, the people who have found success, and identify the steps in their career that they took to get there, and then identify what you need to do to put yourself in that position. However, you should also keep in mind the people who didn't make it. Find out what the lives look like for people who didn't make it there, so you can break down what they did, what they maybe did wrong, and how you can't, how you can avoid it. It is incredibly easy to make excuses or find a reason to blame someone else for your problems, or to look to other people, either to solve your problems, to blame for not achieving your goals, or to compare yourself to. But the true healthy way to go about things starts by looking inward and looking at what you can control and what you can do. The steps that you can take to make your situation better or to achieve your goals always starts within. You will literally make it nowhere, and I see this all the time with people who want to be famous YouTubers or streamers or whatever. There are so many people who think that they can just change nothing about what they're doing or how they're living their life, and that this should just fall in their lap, as if that somehow happened to someone else. And even if it did happen to someone else, you can't just expect RNG, randomness. You can't expect randomness to play in your favor at some point. You will spend your entire life waiting for that moment. It's like expecting to win the lottery without even buying a lottery ticket. It's frustrating to watch from the outside, but really the healthy way to go is to break down each little thing you can change. If you want to live healthier, for example, if you want to eat healthier, you need to start identifying individual meals, individual items of food you can either cut out or tweak the ingredients of. You can identify points of your day that you could spend exercising instead of watching TV or just sitting around. You can take your content on the go with you. Pick up audiobooks or podcasts so that you're still stimulated while you're going, but you're not sitting on the couch. There's always little steps, little actions you can take that don't involve freaking out about someone else. And I want to make sure that everyone's looking in the right direction, especially in a year where literally pretty much everyone is suffering, but also everyone is still trying to flex what they're doing. It can be really hard to keep things in perspective and focus on you. And you are ultimately what matters for your perspective, because no matter how much you feel the pressure or the influence of others, lives in your own, ultimately the only thing that will motivate you or get you moving is your own brain, it's called the activation energy. It's the energy it takes to start doing something. And that starts by you making yourself do it, by you identifying the first step you need to do. You need to wake up in the morning, brush your teeth, eat some food. Identifying steps are the only way anything gets done. And we seem to forget that when we get lost in the kind of spiraling of stress or anxiety about life's problems. Hope you enjoyed today's talk. Hit the like button if you did, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.